Yes, I always run into Jim at some Comic-Cons once in a while.
Yeah, do a lot of Comic-Cons.
You're so busy, you don't really get time to say hello very often.
Yeah.
Kind of like a convention, we all get together. You do Comic-Cons also.
Yeah, I do Comic-Cons, and believe it or not, I still wrestle once in a while. I try
really?
anyway.
Well,
yeah.
That's what I say. People say you still wrestle. I said, well, I still go to the ring. I don't know if you call it wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I ran into Nikolai, of course, on my way, and then I ran into you, Jim, in the New York area. We traveled together, had a lot of fun together, and then I left, and the next thing I heard through the wrestling grapevine, there's this new guy in the South called Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And he does a ho, and he yells, "Tough guy."
Tough guy, ho!
I often wondered how you came up with the name Hacksaw. Was it a name you had in football, or?
No, well, actually, you know, as I came up, I broke in Dallas, Texas with Fritz von Erich, and then I went up with Vince McMahon Sr., where actually Sarge took advantage of me one day, Nikolai. We're driving on the road, and all of a sudden I'm like, bowling, Sarge, let's pull over and go bowling. So we pull in. So we bowl a couple games. I beat Sarge. I'm like, all right, man. I said, we want to put a little money on this, Sarge. Yeah, sure, we'll put a little bread on it. Boom. He gets ready to go. He goes, oh, I'm right-handed. New guy to the company, Sarge.
Yeah, we bowled a couple of games, and I bowled left-handed. And so Stan Hansen, of course,
thank you.
got quite a kick out of that. Swore he'd never say a word to anybody. As soon as we walked in the locker room, hey, you guys got to hear what Sarge did to Hacksaw.
Yeah, I forgot all about it. Didn't bother me.
I remember when I first came to Madison Square Garden, first time I wrestled the Bruno Sammartino was the first time I so loved Madison Square Garden. I'm very proud of it.
Bruno Sammartino?
Yes.
Wow.
Unquestionably, it's Sammartino with all the momentum in the world right now, but don't count out Nikolai Volkov, a very crafty individual.
But it was very hard to get out of the garden and be a bad guy. I escaped from communism. Actually, my grandfather was a world champion wrestler. He was killed by first communists. And I had to come there in the ring, pretend I love communism, pretend to be one of them.
Whoa.
It was not easy, but I did a pretty good job.
I think a lot of guys used to sneak out in the ambulance out of Madison Square Garden, right? You get in the ambulance and
but
sneak
people
out.
find out, then was not turn the ambulance over.
Well, it was dangerous long before sports entertainment. You know, I know in the South, the small territories, just getting back and forth to the ring was dangerous.
Right.
You know, people would
kick
at you.
That surrounded the ring, you know.
Yeah, a little rope, right?
Through a tire. And, you know, wasn't much security back then.
Actually, that's where the 2x4 came from. I was working out in West Texas with Bruiser Brody, and just getting back and forth to the ring was dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah.
You know, they spit on you and punch you, and so I'm sitting in the back covered with loogies and bruises, and Brody comes in, he goes, Duggan, he says, if you carry something to the ring, carry something you can use. Forget those feathered boas and sequin robes. And I'm like, well, here's a piece of wood. And I got the wood. I went out yelling. It was like parting the Red Sea. Then people scattered.
Here comes Duggan with a board. Duggan's coming with a board.
I got to the ring, like, this is great.
Yeah.
Been carrying it ever since.
Yeah.
And, you know, one time I got this big splinter in my thumb, you know, and I went, oh.
That's where it was.
Well,
That's
pretty
how
good
the
story,
whole came,
right?
huh?
But over in Europe, you know, everything is metric, right? So a 2x4 is actually bigger than an American 2x4. My father-in-law, God bless him, made me this beautiful felt 2x4 case.
Oh, wow.
I take my American 2x4, because he used to throw it up and spin it around, you know, so we're going through customs in Italy, and the guy stops me. I got all the boys with us, and they're all in line. He goes, hold it, hold it. He takes the board, he pulls it out of the case, he's doing the... He goes, what do you do with board? I said, I got all the boys with me. I said, well, I'm building a house piece by piece. You know, guy looks at me and goes, sit over there. About 3 hours later, I'm going, I'm sorry, I'm very, very sorry. No rib with the customs people, right?
How was it, Nikolai, during the wartime? Was it hard to get in and out of the ring? Was it a lot of threats?
Oh, yeah, lots of threats. Lots of people get too excited. First time I got scared in the ring is the first time when I sang Russian national anthem. It was in Louisiana. And it was the idea, before my match, that we play tape of Russian national anthem. So I called my mother, she sent me tape. So I give it to him, and the greatest mistake said, Nikolai, I will lose my pay tonight. I said, why? Because I forgot your tape.
Oh.
I said, Grizzly, don't worry. I said, I'll go sing it. And when I start singing, people start slamming their foot on the chair. That was the first time I ever got scared in the arena. I thought there was a whole building going on now.
We were in Denver one time, and Nikolai would come out and he would sing the national anthem. And Nikolai grabs the microphone and he starts singing. And he realizes that the people aren't reacting to him, and he just sings harder and louder and harder and louder. And I look down, and he mistakenly grabbed the wrench that rings the ring bell, and he's singing into the wrench. And I looked at that.
That's the best he ever sounded, too.
And that was the first time I ever laughed in a ring. I had to slide out of the ring, go underneath the ring. But he calmly just dropped it and grabbed the microphone. And
I always joke Nikolai was the only guy that was mad at Gorbachev for tearing down the wall. Don't tear the wall down. It's my gimmick, brother. But it worked out good, you know, with the two flags going.
Yes,
it helped me because Reagan was the one that wanted the wall torn down.
Yes.
And he was a big fan of mine. So
That's right.
Yeah, you've been to the White House a few times, haven't you? Met a few presidents,
I've
haven't
met
you?
7 presidents.
I can't ever get past security. I don't know.
Incredible how the character and the patriotism and everything, you never know who your fans are. When you get a call from a Secret Service inviting you to the White House as a guest of President Reagan, I met President Nixon on the plane. I met President Carter at an arena. And baseball game, I met President Bush Sr. and Clinton at the Oval Office.
Wow.
But to be honored by presidents,
Be recognized. What a huge honor
the
to meet
American
those
flag
guys.
over the Capitol, my honor, and we were in this big room, about 200 celebrities, and my wife and I were the last two to be in line, and a Secret Service man came over to me and said, "Excuse me, will you follow me?" So we go around this corner, we go through this door, and there's President Reagan standing there.
Oh, wow.
Saluting me, and he said, "I've always wanted to meet you, and I want to thank you for all your work you do for patriotism." And I flew the flag and over the Capitol in your honor, and he handed me the flag, and he said, "In fact, I would like you to put me in the Cobra Clutch."
Oh, gee, Secret Service loved
Secret
that,
Service.
right? Yeah.
Secret Service says, no, Mr. President, we don't think that's a good idea. And he said, "Well, how about a push-up?" No, Mr. President, how about just a handshake and a photo? And
Yeah.
so we took a photo, and we went out, and he said, "Your wife's going to take your place at the table." The president asked for you to be on the podium with him
Oh, wow.
during his speech. So I'm up there and hear all these people speaking, and I catch my wife's eye. Hey! And here comes the president. We all stand up. He shakes my hand again, and he starts going through his speech. And all of a sudden he says, "In my re-election, if they think they're going to beat me, that's like my good friend here, Sergeant Slaughter, losing to Beaver Cleaver, the wrestling match." Did he say my name?
Yeah, right, cool.
So when I got off the stage, of course, he said goodbye and handed me a speech, and he had autographed it, and he's spoken. So you just never know what's going to happen and who you're going to meet, and putting Cobra Clutches on Paul Newman and different people.
Usually Secret Service or law enforcement and I meet, they have my hands up on the car, feet back and spread.
Yeah.
All right, Duncan, okay. Wrestling, you know, I'm sure as you guys, I've wrestled in every state in the Union, every province in Canada, in 30 different countries. It's unbelievable the appeal of wrestling around the world.
Even in Russia today, they have professional wrestlers for a couple times. They run there once in a while.
Yeah, they're going on in places we haven't been, right?
And we're emulated wherever we go.
How much we make people happy is a funny story. I was wrestling in Philadelphia, and I was a bad guy. And the time office got a letter from kids that died from leukemia from hospital. And he said, "My wish is before I die to meet Nikolai Volkov."
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they asked me if I would go. I said, "Sure, I go." And when I come, I said, "It's going to be easy," you know. When I saw the kid, you know, I almost was speechless, couldn't speak, you know. It was so bad, you know. I said, "My God, I'm here, and not for me, I'm here for the kids." So try to make them happy. And I was doing card tricks, and the kids start laughing. And I look around parents, and they start crying. And then after we finished everything, I asked the parents, I said, "God, I never do this thing again," you know. They crying, or I ask them, "Why are you guys crying?" He said, "Because that's the first time in the last 5 years we saw our kids laugh."
Wow.
And then after they said that, man, I was so happy, you know, and that was it.
I got a call one time with just can you do a favor before you get on an airplane? I walked in, and there's this little boy standing up by the blackboard, and he had a helmet on. Yeah. And I said hello and did my usual Sergeant Slaughter entrance, and all of a sudden this kid turned around and ran at me, and everybody was like, and he ran up and grabbed my legs and gave me a hug, and they all came over. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "He's never walked before."
Ah, yeah, that's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, kind of like
It's a good feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they
50
did.
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times at autograph sessions and stuff too, you know, you'd be standing there talking to kids, and this real rough, tough man will come up with hard hands. He'll squeeze your hand. He'll say, "Hacksaw Duggan, let me tell you something. Me and my dad, we used to watch," and he'd start to tear up. I mean, it's humbling. It's unbelievable how you affect people without even realizing it. Well, you know, Sarge, we all carried the flag for a long time cheering USA, but then all of a sudden you made the big change and went against America there with Adnan.
Yeah, I was working for G.I. Joe at the time, Hasbro Toys, and my contract was finished. Had a call one Sunday afternoon, picked up the phone, "Sarge, yes, Vince. Hey, Vince, you know who that voice is." He says, "I hear your contract is up with Hasbro." I said, "Yeah, funny, you should know that." He said, "Well, you ready to go back to work?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I got an idea for you." And he already had this was right after WrestleMania 6, he already had a layout of the Los Angeles Coliseum that would fit 104,000 people. And he said, "I want you to be in that main event, and we're going to shatter the record from Detroit." But he said, "It's not going to be a simple task." He wanted me to be an Iraqi sympathizer because of the overtake of Kuwait. You go home and talk to your family before we say yes to all this. And of course, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do this. Of course, I'm going to do this." So I got back, and of course, my wife said, "You're crazy. You can't be an Iraqi sympathizer." So we went on ahead and did it. And the night that I beat Ultimate Warrior in Miami, pretty much everything kind of hit the fan. Jay Strongbow was there, and he was one of the backstage talents, and he said, "Have you talked to your wife today?" I said, "No." He said, "You talked to Vince today?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, give him a call." So I called my wife. There was nobody home. Called Vince. "What's going on?" He said, "Well, someone called the wrestling office and didn't like the way you won the championship and threatened to kill you and kill me and kill our families and blow up the office, the wrestling office, blow up the studio, blow up our homes." And he said, "I took a precaution just to call your wife and have her get out of the house till I could get security around the house." So I got back home, and FBI, they got this truck up into my driveway. And when I got there, they all came over. They all wearing suits, and they showed me they were packing. They said, "We're going to walk the perimeter of your property 24/7. We're going to take your wife to the grocery store. We'll take your kids to school, and whatever has to be done." I said, "No, we're not going to do that. We'll be fine." So then the threats kept coming bigger and bigger, because we used to do some really crazy things. Saddam Hussein's birthday, I brought a cake out. And I asked everybody to stand up and sing "Happy Birthday" to Saddam Hussein.
Oh my God.
And we'd always time it so that my opponent's music would hit just before the crowd was coming. Every night, I would always have the announcer read a little paper that said, "Today is Veterans Day in Iraq." And Sergeant Slaughter and General Adnan would like you all to stand up and give 10 seconds of silence for all the brave Iraqi soldiers who died in the overtake of Kuwait. Well, finally, in Madison Square Garden, FBI came and asked me to wear a bulletproof vest when I wrestled because there were so many threats.
Sergeant Slaughter has fast become one of the most despised superstars of the World Wrestling Federation.
Everything was, crazy. And then they asked me to go and ask for my country back. So I went around the country.
In honor and memory of all the great Americans who fought and died for this great country, I say to you, I want my country back.
Vince McMahon told me, Sarge, once you ask for your country back, the WWE Universe will always forgive you.
Listen to the chant for Slaughter. Slaughter went in when he saw the flag go down and Hacksaw go down. I told you this guy was a change man.
I got back into the locker room and Vince came over to me and he hugged me. He said, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. For you to take that crowd like that. And I went to walk away and he grabbed my shoulder and he said, why don't you turn against Hacksaw and we'll start it all over again. I said, okay. He said, no. I was just kidding. But you were that close to you and I having to go around again. The WWE has made us all bigger than life. And who could forget Andre the Giant, working with Andre the Giant?
Yeah.
What a character he was to get in the ring with. You never knew what kind of mood he was going to be in. And
and Andre actually elevated me from a mid-card guy to a main event guy, you know, because he challenged, you know, they did the deal. I challenge anybody. And there's a giant in our business, Big Show, Kali, Yokozuna, Umaga. Duggan, come here, get your 2x4. I have to wrestle every giant there is. So I run down there, I got my chin on Andre's belly, like, I'm not afraid of you.
This man, Hacksaw Duggan, is not afraid of you.
And he went to grab me, and his thumb hit me in the lip and knocked my lip off. My lip just fell down, so now blood is cascading down my chest.
I think he busted Duggan earlier on in the mouth when he went to choking.
He's got me by the throat. He's choking me. He's choking me. I'm down on my knees. I feel around. Boom, I get my 2x4. Hit the giant. He goes down like a huge giant redwood tree from WWE. Goes off the air, me covered in blood, standing over Andre the Giant. Lip was flipping. But I mean, you know, that elevated me to a mid-card guy, and of course, Andre wouldn't do that if he didn't want to do that.
If he didn't like you, it was a long night. You know? And of course, Pat Patterson, probably one of the greatest minds in our business. I was honored to work a program with him in the Cobra Clutch Challenge, and ended up in Madison Square Garden where we had a hardcore match before hardcore was hardcore. You know, Vince McMahon's father put us in a match. It was called an alley fight, and there was no referee, no time limit. Wear whatever you wanted to wear. And as I was walking out to the ring, I said to my manager, Ernie Roth, how does this match end?
Just keep
Stops
going,
the match,
right?
you know?
Here comes Pat Patterson.
But it was like two Green Generals getting together in one night, and probably one of the greatest matches of all time in Madison Square Garden.
The most grueling match in professional wrestling history has taken place here tonight in Madison Square Garden.
I'm sure you worked with Pat.
Well, yes.
I never worked with Pat. You might have
I
worked
worked
with
with Pat, traveled with him.
Yeah.
He was a good guy, good mind for the business.
I never had much interaction. You know, Pat was always office guy, and I was, you know, a different level. But that Legend House, I got to know Pat a little bit.
I wanted to go to that so bad, but my daughter was going to have a baby, and Roddy Piper, God bless his soul, we all miss Hot Rod so much, and he called me. He was all excited for me to go, and then he called and was so disappointed, and he said, I don't know what to do. I said, call Hacksaw. Call Hacksaw. You love to be with Hacksaw. And of course, you guys became
But they called it the bromance.
It was a romance.
The bromance.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because I didn't really know Pipe neither, you know. When we get there, like, you have to have a roommate. Are we together?
Yes.
Right, let me show you.
They just found out.
Follow me. Let me show you.
It's a king-size bed, too.
Like, I haven't had a roommate since college. You got to be kidding. Like, and you're rooming with Piper.
Yeah.
So the first 2 days, it's like, how you doing, brother? You know, we just eyeballed each other, but then the relationship grew.
He was a beautiful person.
Yeah, very. And then our families became friends because, as you said, broke everybody's heart.
Who were some of the talents you wish you would have had a chance to work with that you didn't?
Well, I got The Rock's grandfather. I got The Rock's dad. I may get The Rock at WrestleMania. Not a chance in hell.
I had the same thing with the Ortons. I wrestled all the Ortons.
Yeah, I did too.
I wrestled Dusty, DiBiase, and Orton, and I came back and on the talent contract in WWE. I wrestled Dusty's kid, DiBiase's kid, and Orton's kid.
No.
Said, first I beat up the old man, then I beat up the kid. Well, fellas, another delicious meal.
Yes.
Always good to see you guys. Huh?
Thanks
It's been
for
a while
picking up
down
the
the
check
road.
again.
Yeah, everything's on me. Come on, what the devil?
Always great to see you.
Good to see you,
I wish
Sarge,
we could
as
see
always,
more of
buddy.
each other.
Nice to see you.
I hope our paths get to cross more often.
I hope so. Even
See
on
you
the
at
ring side.
WrestleMania 33.
You know,
Might be an old-timer
when
match.
you
I
talk
tell you,
about that,
six-man tag. Well, fellas, let's have a toast before we go.
Toast.
those
This is the
Vidania.
worst drink I've ever had, I'll tell you.
It's a hot tamale.
Cheers, fellas.
All right.